Hello guys, I'm Hoppers and today I decided to torture myself while attempting to set the world record for the quickest Minecraft death on a randomly generated world. So the good thing is, after 259 attempts, I managed to get it by a pretty good margin. And when I say 259 attempts, I actually mean it. I recorded every single attempt and I also kept all the words that I generated. And as good, nothing could bring me this day back. If you could leave a like on this video for my effort, it wouldn't feel like a total loss of time, you know, so please like it. But before I'm gonna show you the actual clip where I set the record, I just wanna talk to you about why I did this, what are the rules if you wanna try this, and why I think it's not that easy. Well, it all started with this video by Wadzee.
And now moving on to the second speedrun, dying as fast as possible on a random seed. 13 seconds. Alright, so out of all my attempts, this was my best time yet. I haven't looked into this one yet, but I'm sure I'm the first person to do this. So this is the new world record for dying on a random seed.
Okay, now I understand. He made this challenge as a joke. I started wondering if there's actually someone who tried getting this challenge done, you know? And after some more research, I found this guy who has a 4.43 seconds world record set in 2019. Which again, is important to say that this was randomly generated word, so I guess it counts. After a few more searches, I found this guy on a random site I didn't even know it exists.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Alright, let's try. The record is 13 seconds, so I need to be faster than that. Oh, I'm so lucky. Yes! Yes!
But basically the commenter says it's a fraud because he just basically reloaded the word and placed himself in a lava, which had a record of 4.04 seconds. But yeah, a fraud is a fraud, so it doesn't count. And there was one more video on YouTube with a guy who set a record of 3.35 seconds, but he was not playing by the rules.
Okay, come on. Yes! That might be it. Yes, yes! Oh my gosh, we got it! Yes!
Which brings us to the next point. What are the rules if you wanna do this? And I'm going to explain you why the last guy it's not actually counting in this. In the meantime, I think you're gonna see in the background some of my attempts. Probably not all of them, but they are gonna be sped up because there are 259 attempts, yeah, remember that. So the rules are pretty basic. You just have to generate a new random word without changing any options. And the last guy actually did change. He generated amplified biomes, which means there are gonna be huge mountains generated, which will help you get this challenge done way quicker than if you do it normally. But because I didn't want anyone to question my world record, I decided to count it in, and I wanted to beat this one at a bigger margin even than the guy who did it with amplified biomes. And probably the most important thing I forgot to mention is when the timer will start. Well, the timer has to start exactly when you reload the word, and you can do that by skipping each frame in an editing software, and you can actually see the exact moment you will load the word, and that's where the time should start. Don't forget, all my attempts are recorded at 60 frames per second, which give even a more accurate representation when skipping frames in a video editing software. And now that we got the rules, let's just talk about a bit why I think it's an interesting challenge after all. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's a pretty useless and very unskillful challenge, so I'm not trying to be the teacher here, because after all you're doing is basically gambling with the word seed. But there are still few, like 1 or 2 seconds where you have to put your brain to work, so that's why I think it's a bit interesting. But there are still some things you have to keep in mind that make this challenge interesting, because it's actually not that easy to die in less than 3 seconds after respawning a new world, and I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah, but what's so hard? You're just gonna jump into the lava and that's it. Yeah, that's why you're wrong. It doesn't work like that. Well, first of all, the lava will kill you in about 5 seconds if you're lucky enough. I had a few attempts where I spawned right next to a lava pool, and despite being really fast jumping into it, it doesn't actually kill you that fast. The only good time where lava is very good is if you actually have the chance of jumping in a ravine or a deep cave and you don't die from the fall, you will actually burn right away. But that's it. One more important thing is that right after you spawn in a new world, I think there are 1 or 2 seconds where you don't take any damage no matter what, and that kinda makes this very difficult. out. I had an attempt where I jumped straight into a ravine and I didn't take damage at all. I wouldn't have died anyways, so I didn't get angry because that was a failed attempt from the beginning. But you actually have to keep that in mind that I think there's 1 second where you don't take any damage no matter what, right after you spawn in a new world. But what about Suffocation? You may think you can jump into the ocean or maybe play some sand over your head, but no, it takes about 20 seconds to either suffocate or drowning, so these two options don't work. Now let's talk about death by mobs, because that's an option too, which is not very great. Wolves will kill you too slow. Even if there are 20 around, you'll still get killed very slowly, or at least it will take more than 5 seconds. Bees are slow, maybe a creeper, but there's a way too slim chance that you're gonna get right next to a creeper in less than 4 seconds. But there is one mob, just like the guy in the video, is the Iron Golem, basically damage you in one shot and kill you. I had a few attempts where I spawned right into a village, but I was a bit too far from the Iron Golem, so none of those attempts were actually less than 4 seconds, which I was looking for. So either you spawn right into a village and right next to an Iron Golem, or there's no point trying to die by mobs. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you see the clip and we will talk more about this challenge after the clip. Slaves, roll the video. Oh my god, please tell me this is it, please. Yeah, you can definitely see my excitement after 259 attempts. I think it was more of a frustration because I could have done this a little earlier because I had a few spawns where I could just jump down, but you know, I actually fucked up. Oh my god. No. So basically that was my day summed up in a 4-second video. I think, yeah, it's great. Great investment of time, guys. At least I have a world record right now, which I should be proud of, but I don't even know if I'm proud of. I think I'm gonna post the raw video of the final attempt where you will be able to check it out in real time, just to make sure nobody will say, oh, but it's sped up. No, it's not. Most likely I'm gonna put all the 259 words for download, and I'm just gonna point out one of them because one of them was absolutely beautiful, spawned right next to a pillager thing and beautiful mountains and all that. So if you wanna play on that, that's great. But with that being said, I challenge you guys to do this, and I'm gonna challenge Wadzee because 13 seconds? That's lame, dude. And challenge some other YouTubers that you like. I mean, I don't really watch YouTubers, so help me out finding some speedrunners that will actually try to do this harder than I did. So yeah, and yes, I know this is not a skillful challenge, it's more like torture yourself challenge, but I will greatly accept a world record of any kind. So since I don't have the skill to do better things in Minecraft, I guess, you know, somebody has to do it, you know. Thank you guys, thank you. So if you have any other challenges for me, just drop them in the comments below and I will be sure to check them out. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video.